recording, that's why I'm waiting for that. Adikul Alam has left the meeting. Yes, we started. So uh, I will start a new topic today, that is a stack. Okay. So there are so many uh, real life problem, not our problems, real life tasks. What we have to know how to implement these tasks in data structure. Right? So all of you know about stack and queue from your common sense. You know from your childhood, and that stack and queue you maintain right from your childhood. You maintain these two data structure. Like say if you are supposed to arrange some books, okay, definitely you will follow a pattern of stack to arrange the books, one book or another book. In this way you will make a pile of books arranged in a stack manner, right? And similarly queue, if you are supposed to wait for a particular bus or for a public vehicle or anything which will be served in a disciplined manner, you have to make a queue, right? So you know that principle, how it processes, how the elements are processed in this data structure. In stack, we know what element has been inserted last will be removed first. It is called LIFO, last in, first out, right? LIFO. Uh, that way, uh, Q maintains FIFO, first in, first out. Those who stood in the first, the queue will be solved first, will be processed first. So first in, first out. The two data structure we maintain and we will implement here also, right? So let me start a presentation for this one.
Sorry, sir. It's too much
Ah,
late.
hmm. Okay, try to join in time. Hmm.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. So let me start a presentation for stack today. My screen is visible to all of you. Entire screen.
Yes, sir, the entire screen is
Yes, sir.
visible.
Hmm. So this is the stack. This note is sufficient for you. Data structure and algorithm in stack. So whatever data structure we think of uh, falls under abstract data type. Why it is abstract data type, that we discussed in the last class. Stack is also such an abstract data type, commonly used in most programming languages. It is a name stack because it behaves like that. A pile of curves, pile of plates, or maybe a pile of books, right? The book or the element you have inserted last, that will be removed first. So leave forward I discussed, and this stack they maintain two operations. One is push, another is pop. Push means we will put the elements one after another following this manner, following the principle of stack, and pop means we will be removing the element following the principle of stack. The stack presentation. last in, first out. The pushed elements are getting pushed and elements are getting popped, right? From the top always. So there is a very important parameter, that is we have to keep always track of the topmost element, right? And how many elements are there. These are very two important factors in stack. Number one, the topmost element means what is the index number, this attribute for the topmost element, and how many elements are there in the stack. Why how many elements? Because if you keep on pushing the elements and if you have a limited number of spaces, then you cannot continue pushing the elements beyond that limit, right? Okay, so you have to restrict this push operation after a particular time when the boundary will reach. Okay. And similarly, in case of pop, when you go on removing the elements from stack, you have to always check whether that all the elements have been popped or not. If all the elements have been already popped from the stack, then if the stack is empty, then what did you? Why will you uh, proceed further for popping, right? So that will be uh, an technical debug of your program. So you have to check, you have to keep these two constraints. First constraint is for push. Let's say it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for example. If you have at most 5 elements, if you have the space where you can push at most 5 elements, then there is no space left up, right? For the to push the elements anymore. So you have to stop pushing. So that restriction, that constraint you have to keep in your programming to implement. And similarly, if you keep on popping, you have to stop at a point where you can see that there are no more elements. There is no a single element left in the stack to pop. So these two constraints you have to keep in your programming. Otherwise, your program may encounter an execution error. Got it? So mostly when exam, most of the students forgot to keep these conditions as constants. That's why uh, they can't score full uh, marks, right? So this is the very important. So base operations, push and pop, pushing, storing an element on the stack and removing an element from the stack, right? So is full. These are two. What I said, that these two constraints you have to write. You know that whatever we operations we do in real life or definitely data structure, all these operations will be kept in our programming in the form of function. I told you, I discussed what is the necessity of function, right? When we covered that chapter in your CS 201, right? So function, the module uh, in a program which uh, fulfills a particular specific job, right? So is full means this function, we will be designing this function. If we write the program in any language, in C or C++, in Java, whatever language we use, we have to keep this in our programming, and that constraint particularly is the empty function. Is full function will check if stack is full, is the empty function will check if the stack is empty, right? So here is an algorithm. Here I will discuss the general algorithm and some piece of codes in C, which we will write as a complete program, right? So algorithm of peak function. Here the peak function, what peak function is doing, it is implement of peak function in C programming. What peak function is doing, get the top data element without it, right? Means it keeps track of the index of topmost element. I think you didn't understand. Let's say here in this position, your index number of topmost element is what? If is zero, if it is array, if we implement the array, right? To but if we implement stack using array, then this will be your first element of the array. This will be your second, third, fourth, fifth. So index will be this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This way it will go on. So if this many number of elements are present in the stack, what will be the value of top? Value of the top will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. If these three elements are present in the stack, then value of the top will be 2, 0, 1, 2, since the array index starts from 0 to 0, 1, 2. Right. And when you will keep on removing, definitely the value of the top will keep on changing. Got it? So top always holds the current index of the element, which is the topmost element at that time. Got it? So this peak function is doing that one, top data element of the stack without removing it. It is not removing. It just takes the peak element, a top element, right? As it points rather. Now if you perform push operation, so that will that is important, right? If you remove a particular element, then definitely that is also important, right? So if peak function is doing this, now algorithm begin procedure is full. If top equals to max size, right? Max size means size of the array. If the top equals to the max size, just now what I discussed. If your array size is 5, so if the value of the top is 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. So the stack is full. That is what it is doing. That's checking. Otherwise, after that, if you try to push the stack in array, so that will be an error. Generally, we call it stack full error, right? Here, when it is valid, I'm telling you, generally this stack full or empty stack is valid whenever we will be implementing static memory allocation. That point I will be discussing after I discuss this one, right? So now implement of is full. If the top is max size, max size means your array size is max size. Then return true, otherwise is false. Or bool means bool is a data type which returns the boolean value, true or false. You know this one, right? Bool is the data type in any language. It's available. Is empty, just opposite of this. If top less than one, right? Here it is a general algorithm. It is not written keeping the C conventions of C in mind, right? Top less than one means array index starts from 0, but it may so happen that any other languages where we don't use this one. So it's a general language. That's why top less than one means there are no there is no element in the stack left, right? Okay, means if we say that there is zero book, that is it a fact? It may be a fact. No, if you have a stack and at least one element, one book is there, you will say that it gets one, but so top value of the top is one. If it is 0, then no book is there. So is it empty? Means top less than 1 means 0. Then return true, it's empty. Otherwise not. At least one element is there. This will be false. Is empty will be false. Yeah. Now, an example. Now it has. This is a general language algorithm, right? Who joined? Subodip Mondol. Ah. So, in general, this has been written in general language, right? Algorithm, and now it's been written in the form of C. Top is -1. When top is 0, so we can claim that there is at least one element in the stack, right? Isn't it? Reply. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
stop is
Yes, sir.
0 means that in the first room in the array there is an element. But if it is less than 0 means -1, then stack is empty. There is no element. So is empty now in the form of C we are writing here. This okay. This is the general syntax, the general algorithm for the is empty, and this is the algorithm we will be implementing if we codify this in C. The push operation, there are this many operations we will be pushing. Okay, we will write step check if the stack is full. Step 2, if the stack is full first, whenever, that's why what I told you, I started with. Whenever you intend to push any operation, first you have to make sure that there is at least one space left for the element to be pushed. If the stack is full, then there's no point pushing the elements. If you again try to push, you will get an execution error, right? So that's error. You have to you have to design the program, or you have to keep this checking a constant so that that error doesn't occur, right? So always you have to check whether the stack is full or not. If the stack is not full, then if the stack is not full, increments, what we will do? We will push the elements, and to push the element, what we have to do? We have to change the current index of the tab top, incrementing one one unit, right? Isn't it? If it holds this 3, top is 3, means fourth element, and if the we have to we push another element, we will increase the value of top. It will be top plus plus, right? And then after the value of the top is incremented, we will push the element into that room, that is in that location. Okay, where top is pointing, and return success. This is the push operation written stepwise logically. What logical operations we have to maintain? That is written making points. Okay. So if you are asked to write, if you are asked to uh, write an algorithm for push operation of a stack, you will write this one. These steps, logical steps, not the code. And if you are asked to write a program or write a function, most of the time here in this subject, you will be asked to write a function rather write a full code, right? And definitely it depends on the marks, right? If you get 10 marks, then push and pop operation, the entire program you may have to write. Or if you say 5 marks is there, then I think push operations only a particular code or function will be there. That's just hold on. অনিরুদ্ধ আমি ক্লাস নিচ্ছি এখন ঠিক আছে so this push operations is done. Similarly, this is a push operation here. Again, that this steps, this logical steps, this algorithm is implemented here, right? So here, stack. First, if I want to push an element, first we have to increment the value of the top here. That's why incremented, and at that position we are inserting the element E. Got it? The algorithm of push. First, you are incrementing the value of top. It is written in general form in algorithm. We are incrementing the value of top. Top is top plus 1. Then stack top. And stack is your array. Stack top holds the data. Got it? Is full push operation. Here is full. Here now it is implemented in C. We have written a function push, void push in data. We have to first check, as I told you, always to insert an element in the stack, you have to always check whether the stack is full or not, right? So it's full. If it is returned false, false means this is true. Not is full. Not is full means by default is full returns true. Yes, by default is full returns true, right? If it is true, then return true. If it is true, so if not is full means false. Okay. So not is full means is full. Yes. If it is not is full means not full, then we will try to push the element in the onto the stack. So then we will perform top is top plus 1. First we will the value of the top will get incremented. Then at that index top we will push the data stack of this data, right? Else could not insert the data stack is full. Else means stack is full. Here if not is full means stack is not full, right? And else means stack is full. Could not insert the stack is full. Okay, so this push operation is done. Now talk about pop operation. Similarly, the pop operation, we have to keep on popping the elements, and we have to keep on removing the elements from the stack, and always after always before we remove a particular element from the stack, we have to check whether stack is empty or not. So check step 1, check if the stack is empty. Is empty. With the is empty operation we will check. Then step 2, if the stack is empty, produces an error and exits. So it should not occur the error. Then you will display a message stack is empty and exit from the function, right? So that the error is not caught by the system. Error will be caught by you, by the program, and it will display a message, right? So that the program will not terminate abruptly, right? So this error handling a procedure as a feature generally is not available in C. This error handling feature is available in Java also, right? So many types of error may occur. I am talking about the execution time error, right? It's not your programming error. This is compilation error. Once you compile a program successfully, you may be rest assured that your program has no error, in the sense that you have written the code maintaining the proper convention for the language. Then when you will start running the program, you will see that there may be an error. So that is called the execution error. Got it? Execution error. Execution error will be of many types. Mathematical error, logical error. Generally, we can say that this is the logical error. Mathematical error means if you logically make any mistake for the mathematical processing of the particular expression, logical mistake, then program will encounter an error. So if the error gets encountered, the program will stop abruptly now. So to bypass this one, to skip this one, that error will be caught by the programmer, and that will be bypassed for the next segment of the coding, so that due to this error, program does not stop abruptly. This is the purpose of error handling, what we will be studying in Java. Okay, it's very important and useful feature in Java. Okay, so screen is visible, na? Hello. My
Yes, sir. Visible.
yeah.
Yes,
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 sir.
sir.
So pop operation is this one. So yeah, first we are discussing. Is this stack is empty? Producer. If the stack is not empty, then we will try to pop out element. Accesses the data element. At which element? Always the topmost element, right? Always we will be handling with the topmost element. This is that's why I started with this one. This topmost element is two factors are very important while handling the stack. One is the index or top, or idea about the store knowledge about the top element, its value and the element, and size of the array or size of the your stack. Okay, so if we try to push the element, we have to increment the value of the top, then we have to push the element on that position, what top is holding right now, what top is pointing right now. And in case of removing the elements from the array, in case of popping also, we have to, what we have to do, we have to first remove the element from the stack what the top is point, decrement the value of the top, right? Someone wants to join outside. Okay. Anyways, so this is the main point. You have to always keep track of the top element, and yes, the stack is not empty. Access the data element at which top is pointing, then decrease the value of the top by one, return success. This one. What we are doing, we are first removing this element E, this element, topmost element which is pointed by top, removed. After getting it removed, we have to decrement the value of the top to point the topmost element currently, right? Stack causes. So this is the general algorithm of stack, pop function of the stack, or pop operation of the stack. General algorithm. If stack is empty, return null. Okay, return null if the stack is empty. Here is an empty function. What we just go to the is empty function is empty. Full function empty is empty. Return true top is -1. Return true top is not -1. Then return false. So is empty. If is empty is false. If full, return null. Then end if. Is full means here if it is true, return null. Otherwise, return null. If stack is full. If it is full, return null. Or if not, then the top is top +1, and we have to insert the element on that position in the stack. So in that position, we will just push that element. We will keep the element. This is data as data. Now, this is the push operation we have discussed. Pop. This is empty here. This is actually the pop operation. So if it is empty, stack is empty. If it is empty, then we will not go on popping the element. If not, then data. First, we have to hold the data in a temporary variable. Data currently hold by this top index. Stack is an array, stack top. So we have to first store the data in a temporary variable called data. Then we will decrement or change the index of top by 1 and return data. Okay. So whenever we will be removing an element or popping an element, our purpose will be Purpose will be to obtain the data uh, from the topmost position in the stack. So in POF, if it is empty, then if it is true, then not is empty means false. Not is empty means stack is not empty, right? Not this exclamation denotes the not. You know the I think right. You have used in your first year also. Is empty. If it is for not is empty, then we will go on even later. What I just said, what is here in general algorithm data. So we have to hold, we have to keep the data in a data variable. So it holds stack top, is topmost element in the data. Then we have to change the value of top. Top is top by 1, top minus 1, and return data. Okay. Else means it is else if the stack is empty, then could not retrieve data. Stack is empty. So this is all about your stack. Now tell me if you have any question. Okay. Stop presenting.
No, sir.
Stop sharing. Okay. Any question? So in the next day, I think in your lab also, the next class, we will be implementing this stack in C. See, here uh, for the stack and queue, you have to implement this algorithm in two ways. One is using static memory allocation, that is the array. Got it? And another is dynamic memory allocation. This is the first technique. This is the first time you will be learning this technique, because before this one you have not studied this one. So implementing stack using static memory allocation means array, or implementing stack using dynamic memory allocation. Generally in technical term we call it linked list. Or similarly, or to implement queue in data structure, again we will maintain two techniques. First we will be implementing the algorithm using static memory allocation using array, and then we will be implementing this using dynamic memory allocation linked list. Again I am telling you, to learn the subject you have to fulfill two prerequisites, some prerequisites, maybe three. And number one, array, function, and structure. These are three very important chapters. If you forget, I will suggest you to revise this subject once again, to recapitulate the these chapters once again. Again, I'm telling you, array, function, and structure. Because now onwards, in each and every day, we will be using these features of C. Got it? Okay. And in real life,
Yes, sir.
generally, dynamic memory allocation always we prefer. Why dynamic memory? So what is the basic difference between the static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation? I told you many times, right? Where we don't have any idea about the limitation, about the number of elements, about the number of records beforehand. I repeat, in those cases where we don't really have any idea about the number of records beforehand, static memory allocation will not work over there. You know that your batch have 34 number of records for the student, right? That is the known information. But in the most cases, the number of records we can't predict absolutely, right? Like number of customers in bank, number of passengers in the bank railway system, most of the cases. Then the static memory allocation means we cannot uh, define the size of the array. Na? So array will not work. Array means constant of the array, that you cannot resize the array size during execution of the program. And here, during execution of the program, you have to allocate memory. So it falls under the dynamic memory allocation. Then array will not work here. You have to go for the linked. This linked list is a tool which we implement static dynamic memory allocation with, right? Got it? So the next day, first we will will complete the static memory allocation to implement this species stack or queue. Then we will go for the dynamic memory allocation. For that, I will say that you just at your home you start studying array, function, and structure. If you forgot, right? Got it? So,
Okay, sir.
okay, so let's stop this today's discussion. And again, I am giving you a reminder, all of you must submit assignment, two things you are supposed to do by today. Take it very carefully. First, the students who didn't submit the assignments, what I have given classroom, official classroom, assignments must be submitted by today. All of you. Then I will be giving you the new assignment tomorrow or this week. And this week I will not extend the date. This week you must submit the assignment by Saturday, right? Okay. And generally the assignments you will be getting, that is, or that will be helpful for you from your previous mark out question paper. I will be giving you the assignment. So if you solve the assignment, so this part will be completed for you. You will get confident for your exam that you have completed all these and you will be getting the questions from these only. Isn't it? What do you think? What do you think?
Yes, sir.
Chapter
Yes, sir.
1,
Yes,
I will be
true.
giving you the assignment from the previous year questions. So once you complete, you don't have to worry about the exam at all. And I generally don't, I will suggest you that you think about the exam. If you have to learn the subject so that you can work in the industry in real life. Anyways, and the second point is that you have to give your attendance. Here from this list, I have got the list here. This one is my main list, and those who have left the meeting, attendance will not be, they will not get attendance. So many of you can think that you are joining, but once your attendance is done, but now I will be leaving the meeting after 5 minutes. So this tricks will not work here. I will check what are the students who have who are present uh, the entire session, otherwise attendance will not be given. This network failure, network issue, I am the last person to listen all this thing, because that is ended, that part is ended, because you have to depend on the online classes now onwards. There is no other way out. Nobody can help you in the world. All over the world, this if these are this phenomena is present. If every one of us are supposed to depend on the online. Got it? So that issue will be not valid anymore. So only the persons who are present up to the end of the session will get attendance. So for this today's class, you will get one thing. I will give the responsibility to the seer. So be honest, because I will verify it to give the attendance. Just to check, I will suggest the seer to check it. I will prepare a Google sheet, okay, and you will give attendance, your roll number and name, and I will give the responsibility to the seer to check it once again before I check. Okay, Sandipan. Sandipon. Sandipon is here.
Okay.
Sandipon to. Yeah, good question. Hello.
Sayantam sir. Sayantam sir.
Sayantam is clear, na? So verify it after the sheet is prepared, then I will check. Okay. Only the attendance for the people who are present in the class. Okay. Thank you. Let's continue the discussion. Okay. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay. We will discuss in the next class. So just again, you will immediately watch my video available in your class. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.